Them was one of the most unique series from Amazon Prime Video that I saw in 2021. It was also one of the most divisive. I never expected this to come back with a second season, but nevertheless, here we are, and we're going to talk about it. Let's jump in. Them the Scare centers on LAPD homicide detective Dawn Reeve, who is assigned a new case: the gruesome murder of a foster home mother that has left even the most hardened detective shaken. So the horror aspect, the slash supernatural aspect of Them really caught people off guard. And then we had the political slash, I guess, racism that was systemic in the 50s in that first season. And so now we're in the 90s and we have all of that come back. We have a African-American female cop in amongst a bunch of white dudes in the early 90s. I think it's 91, and she basically is assigned or gets this most gruesome case. I think it's safe to say it's a serial killer case if you've seen the trailer. Throughout the series, it has this, in the second season, has this feeling of intensity and really genuinely scary moments. But I don't think it has quite that punch of horror that season 1 had. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it. I found this probably more riveting once I started to understand where the series was going. Because let me just say that it is very confusing at first. You think it's about one thing and then it jumps to another character. For a long time we are following one of the other main actors, Luke James, who plays Edmund Gaines. I think Luke James should totally get an award or two for his role in this. Showcases a very broken young man from a broken family, and we see a spiral as he's kind of mind seems to fracture and break. He's an aspiring actor and he plays with different type of personas as he wants to be a great actor, but his daytime job is wearing a mascot and dancing for kids, and you just see this character break as we're watching throughout the episodes, and the mystery keeps going on, and you never quite know if it's supernatural or it's just someone that's really demented. And whenever you see what has happened to the bodies, they are broken and distorted in ways that makes you think no one could have done that. And then the cases, as we are basically detectives with the detective, we're starting to see patterns emerge. So it's a great mystery, sort of supernatural thriller, along with character studies of the moment of people having to live in the early 90s. That's partly why I really liked season 2, because there's so much kind of nostalgia for me growing up in mostly the 90s, and the music and the cartoons that you see in the background creating that atmosphere to place us solidly in that time, giving the authentic nature of what these characters are going through feels like it's very real. And so because we're having our characters go through some demented stuff, it feels very real because they've placed them in their surroundings of clothing and music. Like I mentioned, even the media stuff that we're seeing, the books, the way they talk, all of that feels very authentic to the time and makes it much more real because it's in the world that is ours, and then this weird stuff is happening. Feels like if you took some supernatural elements and you put that in the Seven movie and you made Seven a TV series, feels kind of like that. And then you've got the racism. The writers are talking about like what people have had to go through, especially African American, fighting for their place. It doesn't feel like it's detrimental to the story. It doesn't feel preachy. It's just evident and feels authentic that is what happened in that time. But also here, experience this weirdness. It reminds me a lot of like a Jordan Peele's Us horror. Season 1 definitely had that vibe, but if you add a more of a supernatural intensity that's rising the whole way through, that keeps you guessing. If you like season 1, I think you'll like season 2. If you were one of those people that just thought it was preachy, or you're like, this is woke culture, there's none of that wokeness in here. I just thought it was really well written, phenomenally acted, beautiful to look at. Some of the horror you get in here is beautiful, which is weird to say. Like the body, the sets, the gruesome nature of it, the way it's filmed looked beautiful, which is odd feeling. You're like, wow, that's stunning, but also, wow, they're creepy as heck. A weird juxtaposition was had in this series, but I was riveted. I didn't want to stop watching, which is different to how I felt about season 1. I had to watch it in a number of days, and I enjoyed it and I thought it was great. But this time round, new cast, new time, I think it works well. I think again it's going to split audiences, but I'm going to give this a solid 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
You got one.
Looking forward to what you guys think, especially about the ending. I don't want to do spoilers, but suffice to say I like where this went, and it creeped me out. And maybe don't watch this too late at night. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.